My business is called Greater Graphics. I specialize in screen printing and embroidery. About 7 years ago when I first started this, we were having band practice in my friend's house and we just got a new order of our shirts in. And I was thinking, I wonder where these come from.
Sometimes you'll go to shows, like if you have a night off, you'll go and say like, I don't know, Blink-182 is playing, you know, Comcast Center. You'd go to that and you'd walk that line with your iPod and headphones and you would be like, hey, you want to check out my band? You'd play your CD to thousands of people, you know, all night long until it was over. And you know, hopefully you would be able to sell stuff that way too.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Outside the Cinema. As always, your host, Bill by Force. Another band I was in, I was the guy doing a lot of the work and nobody else was necessarily picking up the torch, but then I was the bad guy because I was doing everything. So it was like, oh, you know, you do this and you don't ask us first, and you do this and you don't ask us first. And it's like, well, I ask you and you don't do anything, so I need to be the guy that kind of does it, because if I don't do it, it won't get done.
The merchandise is for a profit is the most important thing. It's the lifeline. It's I'm a tour manager, but I also do the merchandising so they can cut down on their bills, so it's a 2-for-1 type of deal. And kids nowadays that come to the shows, the tours, and they see the shirts are $20, like, they have to understand that, like, we get our shirts printed for $4 or $5 a t-shirt depending on the quantity that you print on. And then you go to a venue and you do like anywhere from like 500 to 1,000 a night, and then the venue will take a cut of what you sell. So you're paying your management because they have a cut of your merchandise. You're paying your merchandiser for making the merch, and then you're paying out a cut, and then whatever's left is kind of like what keeps you guys going, and that's what we do some payouts from. So.
I'll spend 6 months with a band and then they'll break up, you know, which happens more than you would think. When I first started, I used to pay to get like shirts made, or I used to pay to get buttons made and things like that. And then the whole like DIY attitude, you know, do it yourself. So I bought a button press and I learned how to screen print so I could make my own shirts. And by doing that, you end up making more money, but you can also sell things for less, so you can sell more, so you get your stuff out there more. So, I mean, it helps with your brand, it helps with profit, it helps with everything by doing it yourself rather than paying people to do everything for you.
When I was younger, like I said, we always wanted to be that touring band and everything, you know, and I did everything I could to do something like that. And I did it and it was great. You know, I quit college to go on tour and run around the world with my bands, which is all well and fine, but then, you know, that was also 10, 11 years ago. I'm 27 now. Lucky enough to be able to call myself my own boss, so I kind of make up the rules for myself. So basically, if I wanted to go do something with a band, I could, as long as everything's done here, as long as, you know, I have somebody to hold down the fort, or if I don't have any orders coming through. But music will always be very important in my life. It's, you know, screen printing and music are both successful, but they both have their pros and cons. If you want to talk about successful from a financial value, screen printing right here all the way. You know, it can be a very lucrative business if it's done correctly, if you have the right clientele, et cetera, et cetera. But this is getting you nowhere. You know, this gives me carpal tunnel syndrome. Playing in bands in a life aspect is, you know, 100-fold more successful than screen printing.